What is going on YouTube? Hannah back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, as well as the S&P 500. As you guys know, we do a different cryptocurrency here on the channel every single week with your guys' help. And on that note, we are still doing our crypto coin display giveaway. All you have to do to enter one of these bad boys you can see here on the screen for $130 is just by commenting your favorite cryptocurrency down below and that you've subscribed to the channel. If you do those two things, you will be entered to receive one of these giveaways, and we will be doing the drawing for the winner this Saturday coming. So you have a few days left to get entered into it. Remember, I am checking, so definitely make sure you are subscribed, because if you're not, you won't win it. Otherwise, we do have a few important things to discuss in today's episode. So we are seeing a small recovery on some of these major cryptocurrencies. On XRP, we're seeing a recovery. Ethereum, Bitcoin, pretty much the entire market as a whole. Doge is up like 30% after reversing back upwards. So there's definitely a lot of confusion right now in the market. I definitely have seen some very interesting changes, but I do still think that we've confirmed something that not many people have really seen just yet. We are still in, a downtrend. We are still forming higher lows. It's something you guys, really have to consider. Maybe we're not looking for that major correction just yet that, we've all been anticipating now, or just, thinking about in the back of our heads. But I just want to tweak our positions moving forward on here and kind of, get in on a more shorter term movement. Now, we were able to make a few profitable trades the other day off the small correction that we had on XRP. And since then, I want to just readjust our positions, as I do think the next movements are going to be a little bit interesting here for crypto. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, as this does help support the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to join us over at Discord. It is a completely free group for you guys to enter, with over 1,100 people that are currently in it talking about crypto. So what do you got to lose? Definitely make sure to join it. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, before we jump into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to Emerald Rockets for sponsoring today's episode. So guys, Emerald Rockets ICO facilitates the operations and expansion of their education marketplace called tuitionbrokers.com. Currently, the site offers 1,000 courses from the top universities on the planet. It's like the Expedia of education. So tuitionbrokers.com helps students save money while also helping colleges increase their total revenue. So, if you guys didn't know, Americans hold over $1.5 trillion in student debt. In the future, Tuition Brokers is going to offer students a loan pricing engine. This will help students get the best terms on their loan, and it could generate a lot of revenue for the site. Emerald Rockets is actually a utility token. Colleges will be required to pay Emerald Rockets to advertise on tuitionbrokers.com. Consultants and companies that help build Tuition Brokers will also be paid in the Emerald Rockets. One thing that's really exciting about the Emerald Rockets is that 25% of the total tokens are allocated to mergers, acquisitions, and strategic partnerships. This strategy enables them to grow quickly. For details on buying Emerald Rockets, visit their website, which I linked in the description. A total of 1 billion Emerald Rockets have been created, and up to 100 million are being released today during the ICO. Pricing will start at about 1 cent per Emerald Rocket, and it's scheduled to increase without notice, so this is your chance to get in early on the ICO. Otherwise, huge shout out to Emerald Rockets for sponsoring today's episode, and let's jump into the technical analysis. Alright guys, as you can see, I am currently on the current coin market cap, and we did have a pretty big recovery compared to what we were anticipating. Top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything seems to be up fairly well, still recovering slightly from the bigger drop. Things are still down from where they have been in the past. As you guys can see, just because of the small recovery we're seeing today doesn't necessarily mean we're out of the woods just yet, and I really want to reassure you guys of that, and really just be aware of the differences and opinions you might see here on today's episode. As you guys can see, even though we're up 2.5% on Bitcoin, we're still down 10%. Doge is still down 15% overall, even though it's up 32% today. This is mainly what I like to consider the ripple effect, so we are seeing a big reversal in some of these cryptos today, but it doesn't necessarily mean this is going to continue. Most of these coins are down double digits, 20% overall, even though we saw a small recovery right now. So you can see in regards to that, we can look at Ethereum Classic right now. We are in a downtrend. We saw a small recovery that, shot us up after we bounced off of support, but we are still correcting lower, and that's really something that I want to talk about in today's episode. Now, looking at XRP, this was definitely an interesting one. So XRP, you could have profited on in two ways. If you bought in once you saw the confirmation break below the uptrend here, and we closed the daily, I mean, this was definitely a harder thing. You could have shorted this down here. Now, for me personally, I tried buying in for XRP to short after this candle closed here. That was pretty much my game plan. We saw a candle. We have this beautiful support level. We have a beautiful symmetrical triangle forming, beautiful downtrend, clear as day. And we saw the candle actually break below our uptrend. We actually closed below here. And then we started to reverse higher, bouncing off support, which I knew was going to cause a little bit of trouble right here at the $1.27. I did actually get immediately stopped out a few hours after that. Later in yesterday, we got stopped out. We bought in, and then we immediately got stopped out a few days later. So a small loss here. I mean, it is what it is. It's what happens when you're trading cryptocurrency. You do lose some. But I do think we're setting up an overall pattern that we may not actually be seeing. So there's a few things I want to do to just adjust these charts. So whether or not you guys see this, I want to adjust the top one first so you guys can kind of understand. Yes, even though we saw this small recovery yesterday in XRP specifically, we're not necessarily doing well, and you guys really have to consider that. Even though we're slightly up today, maybe we corrected from $1.26 to $1.41, doesn't mean we're doing okay. Understand that we did hit a top. We hit an all-time high for 2021, which was $1.95. Since then, we have not been able to get anywhere near that price level. Not only that, but we've been creating these lower highs since then every single time. So after April 14th, we retested a high of May 2nd, created a newer lower high at May 5th, and so on and so forth. Then May 12th. Currently now May 14th. Good chance we're probably going to recover back up to the uptrend, which is anticipated, but there's a good chance we're going to continue to make these lower high formations. Now, the other thing I want you guys to consider, and I know this is going to be a stretch, but not always do we have confirmations of an uptrend here. We only had two confirmations we were really going off of. This was trying to be the third, but there's a chance, a possibility then maybe it looks something like this. And this is not too reasonable. I don't want unreasonable. I don't want you guys to be a little confused here, but just notice something right now. If I just jump to the 4-hour, look at how clear this looks. I mean, yes, we do have an uptrend still. Yes, we did test support here. Yes, we do have wicks here, but this may still be a support level we need to consider. I mean, we're looking for that third bottom support. Yes, this does look clear as well, but sometimes we have to readjust our position. So this could still be wrong. I am not, 100% accurate on that, but I just want you guys to understand that there still could be, a play here and a possibility. We're still trading below our moving averages here on the 4-hour. It's not a good sign. I also want to pull up, where is it, the daily. We're still trading above the moving average on the daily right here. So there is still that big possibility that we reverse lower, or we could just continue to move up. So I'm really not 100%, and I'll actually make this uptrend right here a little bit thinner just so we don't use that as an accurate support level. But I just want you guys to understand that this downtrend is here to stay, and we have had quite a bit of trouble breaking through here. So with that being said, there's a good chance we may rally back up. We may see some small consolidation back up to $1.46. It very well could happen. But even though we do that, doesn't necessarily mean we're pumping higher, because overall, we've been creating these lower high formations. Really take that in. We've been creating lower high formations every single time. And that could still possibly happen moving forward in the next couple of weeks. So, yay. Look, we're bouncing off support. It very well could be. And yeah, maybe we hit $1.48, but there's a good chance we could break again under that, and we could continue this pattern heading lower. It's a very big possibility that I want you guys to understand. But now we've been able to kind of figure out a better overall pattern. Now that markets have finally been consolidating, we're going to try to recover our losses in the next few trades. But right now I'm going to stay a little conservative on XRP. I'm going to wait for this to play out a little bit more, but I am currently anticipating and expecting XRP to come back and potentially retest top resistance. I would say closer to $1.49 to $1.44 within this consolidation point here. We may still consolidate out, but I do believe that if we come back up to retest resistance here, I will short it for a reversal back downwards. That's really what I'm anticipating, and we'll see. We have yet to be able to break, higher lows. We're still creating higher lows. 1, 2, 3. So these haven't been broken, but the lower high formation is definitely in, and we've been continuing to do that. So there is still some sort of uptrend forming until we break the prior low. So like if we trend sideways, hit this, and then hit here and start to move, then we'll know, okay, we broke our prior low, and we are going to continue to move downwards. But that's pretty much where my take is on XRP. Hopefully that helps some of you guys understand it. I do know that we tried to make a trade the other day. We were really talking about it, and we were anticipating it. And yes, some people did, get lucky on that. They traded short term. They were able to buy in the second they saw the dip below here, or below the moving average, below areas of resistance, $1.30, something like that. We saw the reversals happening right here, and then there was a big short right here, all the way to the uptrend, which is very interesting. But there was a small short-term recovery. I do know a lot of you guys made profit, but we're seemingly finding a bottom of some sort. Yes, we have support levels here, which is currently where we're battling, but we are below the moving average. There is still a downtrend at play, and I would like to see how we continue to move on from here, because I do believe we're probably going to be moving back up, hitting here, and then breaking downwards. That's just my opinion, but we'll see how this trades out. But I am still bearish on the market right now, and I just want you guys to, consider that. Same thing with Ethereum, a little bit harder to look. We did just form a resistance at the top here. Not enough TA for Ethereum to really call a bottom. We did find support here yesterday. We discussed that that's probably where we're going to bounce off of, and we did immediately off of 3,500. We shot up to 39.90 or $4,000. You can clearly see the bottom support was drawn yesterday, and we immediately reversed upwards. Well, my main focus is on XRP and Bitcoin, because I feel like these are the best indicators of potential reversal. So even though I lost profit on XRP, which is fine, I didn't lose profit on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was a really good short opportunity that we've been discussing here on the channel for a long time. So unlike XRP, where we are waiting for a confirmation break below our support level on the daily, Bitcoin, we were just looking for confirmation of a reversal off of this top resistance band here. And you can see we bought in the second we saw confirmation of a retest of top resistance. As you guys know, there's been a major bearish divergence forming on Bitcoin for quite some time now. Major bearish divergence, prices have been moving higher. As you can see, bearish divergence relative strength indicator has been moving lower. So it's opened us up to an opportunity to short the market, and I've been waiting to do so. And it looked like we peaked at the top here. Now I want to search bearish divergence to kind of give you guys a general view of what exactly it is that I'm referring to, and hopefully they populate pretty well. You can kind of see, I want a bigger one. I want to really show you guys what I'm referring to. Okay, right here. So you can see now what a bearish divergence looks like. So we have a beautiful uptrend here in price as the relative strength indicator moves lower. So it's usually a sign of exhaustion. And then you can see, notice this, there's a flip. At one point we hit a peak on the divergence. So we still have this downtrend here, but we still have an uptrend. We hit a peak, reversal doji, and we start to reverse lower. And we start to create these lower highs. And we just continue to, just dump lower and lower. And that's exactly what's happening on Bitcoin. Notice that. Bitcoin did the same exact thing. We had this beautiful uptrend. Now we're starting to see a bearish divergence once again, or we've been in this bearish divergence, and prices have been starting to dip. So since then, what we've done is we've noticed that there seems to be a cap. We were really trying to confirm a second resistance on the downtrend. We like to use 3 confirmations, but I've been playing it fairly, moderate for Bitcoin. And you can see once we discovered this, we then put one in right here. We found the downtrend, we put this in, and we bought in for a short. And immediately after that, markets decided to dump. Now we did get stopped out again, and I'm good. And I did take, my profits on this because we did fall back down to the moving average, which is something that I have not seen Bitcoin retest in a very long time. Bitcoin has been trending above its, moving average right here for quite some time now. Yeah, all the way back since I would say, 2020. We did just recently retest it once again. That's why I was figuring we were going to be moving back down to it. But after this immediate crash that we saw, which was a big short opportunity when we fell from 63,000 all the way to 49, we started to trend back up. Just about last week, we discovered this uptrend here. We drew an uptrend on the coin, not necessarily something we valued, but we figured it would break very soon. It only had about 2 or 3 days at most left. Today, it would have been just one more day to fill out, really, and it decided to pump on the 12th, just 2 or 3 days before our prediction. And really, it was something we anticipated. We bought in at a retest. We saw not only the downtrend here as confirmation, but this top resistance. We've drawn a resistance here at 59,000, and you can see the problems that this zone has caused. So the second we saw confirmation of a retest here where the daily actually closed below it, that's when we bought into short, and we shorted it all the way back down to its moving average. Now we took out profits, so the balances do outweigh itself. They look good, and we're now looking for a movement back up. So here's my opinion right now. I do think we're going to fall to this support level like we did, and I do think this is once again confirming a lower high formation on these cryptos. We're going to be using Bityard to create these positions. We're doing really well here using Bityard. And I told you guys they offered Doge and Shiba Inu to actually trade, which is cool. Just the fact that it gives us the possibilities of shorting these coins when they do get overly pumped. Because the fact that, we have Doge here, whereas I'm going to pull up Doge here, and we saw this immediate reversal back upwards. You can see beautiful movement back up. We could maybe capitalize on the next movement moving forward. This is on the 1 hour. We can jump to like the daily or something. You can kind of get a smaller analysis. Really what you have to do when using Doge or Shiba, since they've been added so early, is you'd have to actually pull it up at a TradingView account to get a general consensus of how exactly the price is moving to. So Bitcoin actually fell below its moving average, which was crazy, and now we're back up above it. Very interesting, but there was a bearish cross here on the moving average, so there is still signs of a bearish flip that we've seen. This is a long time since, it's actually the first time on the 4 hour we've flipped bearish in a very long time. We can even pull up the daily here to get another overview. We moved immediately right back up, and I do think things look okay for right now, but it's crazy that this uptrend is still holding very well. There's also a good chance we could maybe start to rally back up. There's that big opportunity, but coins like this I stay away from. I just like giving you guys my opinion on it, my briefing, but I'm mainly going to stick with this 4 hour uptrend right here. But ultimately, looking at XRP, guys, and then we'll talk about the S&P 500 because I do think I have some very interesting key factors here. XRP still looks like it's forming some sort of symmetrical triangle. We did have to readjust our position again. I'm not going to use this uptrend as well as I did before, as much confidence as I had before, but this downtrend here that I've highlighted in green, much bolder, is now where I'm considering resistance here. Now we are about to hit our moving average on the 4 hour. I do anticipate once again another retest of this top resistance here, but ultimately I am still bearish on the market. I do still believe there are going to be shorts available very soon for XRP and for Bitcoin. We are still forming downtrends. We are still forming lower highs. This isn't necessarily something we would need to see to continue to pump higher in this type of market. We are still forming a lower high. Lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. We're still creating a downtrend. We're still reversing lower, and that isn't necessarily a good thing for a bullish pump. Ultimately, it's only setting up, possibilities of breaking bullish. Unless we break the pattern. If we break through this downtrend right here and we start to pump back up to like $1.62, then we could start to see possible reversal. But right now, my mind's at dips and retests and downtrends on resistance here. Same thing applies with Bitcoin. Bitcoin really tried hard to break through its prior resistance, and it didn't do it. I still think this bearish divergence is huge and here to stay on Bitcoin, and this is pretty much leading the move for most of the markets. Bitcoin fell, the rest of the cryptos fell with it. We did just recently hit a support level right here at the moving average, which is good for Bitcoin. It kind of called the market to a halt, and there's a good chance the next couple of days we might see a small movement, a small short-term pull back up to the moving average, so you might be able to risk trading that if you're an aggressive trader from the 50,000 we're currently trading at maybe to 55,000. But I think the second we hit this, we're going to start to see another reversal downwards. That's pretty much my opinion, guys. Hopefully that helps summed up kind of what we're looking at here. Very crazy market to be in right now. A lot of people are bullish. A lot of people are bearish. I am long-term. I'm starting to become bearish. Short-term, we might have for the next couple of days a small rally back upwards, but after we retest this resistance, and that's key here is these lower highs on this major bearish divergence on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to swing the market. Bitcoin holds, how much does it hold? Usually it tells you how much of Bitcoin is in the market. Bitcoin holds 40% of the entire market. Ethereum is 19% or 20%. Bitcoin has it had $1 trillion market cap, which is nuts. But it does hold 40%. So when Bitcoin swings, it is going to swing the rest of the market with it. So that's pretty much my take, guys. Lastly, the S&P 500 hopefully is starting to recover off this uptrend. Bingo, just as we discussed. We do have this beautiful ascending fractal here. We did just lightly bounce off of here. My positions were kind of higher up, but if we can just lightly consolidate out and allow ourselves to build back up, we're trading at 47 and we fell as low as 40 on the relative strength indicator. This might allow us to consolidate. If we just consolidate on this uptrend here, things will be good. We could take another, couple months, maybe 2 months. But if we consolidate like this, trade stagnant, and then see another run, we'll be so much higher than where we've bought in from over here. It'll be nuts. This just consolidates on a lower end scale and pumps up higher. We're looking good. But hopefully we still, hold support above this line. We could move it a little lower. We could scale it downwards, which I don't want to do. I don't want to pull it like this. That is still a possibility here, something like that, but I'd like to leave it like this. Hopefully we stay above that, but we'll see. Otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap up today's video. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.